Hello everyone. Good ELKEN morning. I'm so happy to tell everyone to share that we're all talking about our skeletal system. So actually, my skeleton. My name is Penny, and a lot of people are calling me Penny Lengma. And after 2 years, I will be 60 years old. And so I'm so really happy that I still have this healthy set of bones and physique. And so actually, I have been consuming ELKEN's products for 25 years now. So I've been consuming ELKEN's products really early. So because of MRT process and procedure and also products, it really made me really like and love to consume the products and also the concept. So it really helped me and my family's health, my whole family's health. So other than having good health, it also gave me really good lifestyle. So that is why ELKEN's MRT products, it really gave my whole family, which has 4 generations, all consuming ELKEN's products. And so it really allowed me to feel really lucky and happy because I am able to let everyone in my family to have to be really happy and healthy. And because if everyone in my family is really healthy, then it is really the purest and truest wealth, isn't it? So actually, other than my family, it also really helped a lot of people around me, and that is why I'm so really thankful and sincere that I can allow so many people to know and learn about these supplements, and also help them learn, and also help everyone to learn about these beauty and health products. So actually, before I was a beautician, and so one of my friends introduced me to ELKEN, and that is how I started to know about ELKEN's products. So when I first started, I consumed ELKEN's spirulina. So actually, in the beginning, I have this migraine problem, and it's so painful. So it has been plaguing me for 17 years now. So I've been consuming ELKEN's. So it has been a really big headache for me, like this migraine. So now that I have consumed ELKEN's spirulina, I was able to solve this problem, and that is why I don't need to consume a lot of Western medicine to solve this pain anymore. So I'm so happy that there's so many products inside the molecular reform therapy to help us find so many health for us back. And that is why all of these products, so many products, it allowed my whole family and also a lot of people around me to benefit from all of these products. Actually, because I've been consuming for 25 years, that is why I have so many testimonies that I can find out that I can share. However, today's topic is about Celljoy and Calmex. Actually, when we come to 50 years old to 60 years old, so everyone is more scared, and everyone is more aware of this problem of our bones, and that is why we can't fall. And that is why if we unfortunately fall, then we will be very unfortunately we have to sit in a wheelchair, and then we'll be really disabled, and it will be very not comfortable, and it won't be very convenient. However, I was able to fall again, but I was still really fortunate that I was able to fall so many times. I don't have any after effects or after symptoms. So actually 7 to 8 years ago, because my family, we raised a turtle. So because it has been with us for so many years, as my father raised it, so we have this turtle aquarium. So this turtle is really playful. So this sprinkler, so this turtle turned it upside down. So that is why the whole living room was filled with water. And I didn't know that the living room was filled with water. It is because our tile is really shiny, so you can't really see that there's water on the tile. So that is why when I came down from the stairs, when I first stepped onto the tile, onto the floor, because the water was really thick already, I started to fall and I slipped for 15 to 16 meters, that long. So my whole butt slammed down onto the floor. At that time, I was so stunned. I sat there, I couldn't do anything. I just sat there. And when I thought when I could stand, or when I thought for a second, and I thought, oh my God, will there be a problem? Will I have a lot of cracks within my bone? So I slowly crawled up, and so I slowly sat up, and then I slowly stood up. And then when I stood, luckily, I still could walk. So it just hurts, but I could walk. So when I sat down onto the chair, I took back my breath, and then I recollected myself, and then there was no problem anymore. And actually, there was no problem anymore, and then I could walk. And actually, I didn't go to the doctors because I could walk. And then after a few days, my pain disappeared. So actually, I came back. So there's this one day on October 29th, on October 2nd, 2019, I came back from the company. And so because at that day I wore thinner clothing, and so on one hand I was holding a purse, and also the other hand I was holding a phone. So when I walked up the stairs, I accidentally stepped onto the pants opening, and so my whole body, luckily I wasn't 6 feet tall, so luckily I stood up on 5-6 stairs of I was on the 5th, 6th step of the stairs, and so I fell. And then when I fell, because I fell onto the stairs, that is why the side of the stairs fell onto my pelvis. And then after that, that was not just it. I fell again backwards, and then it hurt my there was this curving step around the staircase. So I hit the bottom of my chin, and then there was a really big sound, and it was so painful. It was so painful that I couldn't even breathe. So actually, in my house there was no one. There was only my housemate, and that is why because when my housemate heard this thud sound, she ran out to hear what was happening, and to see what was happening. And when she saw that I was laying down on the stairs, I was already in a really big situation, and I couldn't breathe at all. I could only do this. I could only pant. I can only get the breath out, but the breath couldn't come in. So my housemate was really scared and frightened. So my housemate tried to hold me up. However, I said no, because I was already in such a state. So I couldn't even breathe. So I have to sit down there for a second, and I have to recollect my breath. But in that time, I was still trying to recollect. I was breathing really hardly. I could not breathe in. I could only breathe out for 2 to 3 minutes. And within that 2 to 3 minutes, it was so painful. So afterwards, my my housemate slowly hold me up. Slowly brought me up to the stairs. And because my pelvis was so painful, and I have to hold it while I walk really slowly. And I thought that so I thought that my chin was broken. However, I'm so thankful for my mom for giving me such a good chin, because now that I have because my jaw, it seems like it is a Botox. Like I had Botox injection, but then it was not. It was just because it was too swollen. That is why when I went up to my bedroom, I called my daughter, and she brought me to the hospital. And so the doctors let me go to the X-ray. And I was so scared that it was gonna crack. My pelvis is gonna crack. However, I was so happy. I was so glad that my chin and my pelvis didn't have any cracks or breaks at all. So I was so grateful. However, at that time, my high blood pressure increased to 180 something levels, and so the doctors asked me, do I have high blood pressure? But then I said no, because my blood pressure is really my blood pressure levels is at the standard, which is 70 to 110, so within that range, but it shoot up to 110. So actually because your body, so the doctor explained to me, because the pain is too painful, that is why your blood pressure increased to 180 levels. But so you can imagine how painful it was. However, the doctor said that there was no pain and there was no cracks, so the doctor gave me option to stay in the hospital or go back home. So I decided to go back home, and so I ate large amounts of CalMax and also Cell-Joy. Usually I would consume 4 capsules of CalMax, and because this supplement, you have to follow your body, what your body needs to consume this product. So at that time, the Cell-Joy Gold, I didn't really consume as much because I thought that my physique was still okay. So when I consumed the Cell-Joy Go, I would consume 2 capsules because I'm scared that it might get an infection or inflammation. So after a week, my bruise got better, and also it wasn't as swollen anymore. So I thought to myself, wow, you are really amazing. However, I was unfortunate enough in 2020 on November 4th, in 2020, the 4th of June, because it was during MCO, and I haven't seen my daughter, my grandchildren for too long. That is why I decided to go to their house. And so when my grandchildren saw me, they were really happy, and that is why they asked me, oh, Popo, can we go to for a bike? And so actually Popo also really likes to go for a bike, and that is why we decided to go down to the park. And so there was this road for bicycles. However, it wasn't 10 minutes yet, but the bike pavement, it was so slippery, and there was also a lot of sand. And so in front of me, there was a little kid, and there was a lot of twists and turns, and there was a kid in front, and also a lot of sand, and it was so dangerous, and I was almost about to fall. So I thought that if I moved forward, I wouldn't have any problem, but I would hurt the kid in front. So because I need to make this decision, so to not hurt the kid in front, I have to fall to the side, so that I am able to make the kid in front safe, so I won't hit the kid in front. So I would clasp my hands together, and I jump to the side, because it was it was field, so there was a lot of grass, but then it was a slope. And so when I fell down, the power was too great. My face was okay, my body was okay, my legs was okay, but because of my hands, it rushed into the ground. That is why my bones broke. and it was so painful. And so I thought, yes, that it might be my bone cracked. And so my daughter-in-law wanted to hold me, but then it was too painful. So I told her that give me a second and also hold me on the elbow instead of my wrist because it was that painful. And so when she lift me up, my whole wrist was sloping down. I couldn't lift it up. It's bent downwards, and so I have to hold it. And as you can see, my hands, there's no lines anymore. It's so swollen that it is so thick. So I immediately asked my called my doctors, and now I have this condition. So what should I do? And the doctor said you have to immediately come to this doctor, and they have to meet this musculoskeletal doctor so that you're to fix your problem. And luckily, I know some of these doctors. This one doctor, and then so when we went to the X-ray, my bones really cracked. So because in my body there's in everyone's body there's fluid, so that is why my wrist started to become really swollen, and that is why it's really painful and swollen. And actually this hospital, I have to reach there in 45 minutes, and I have to hold my hand like this, and I couldn't have any movement because it was that painful, because if I move it, it hurts even more because this is my bones. And so my blood pressure rose up to 180 to 200, so they know how painful it was. But because at that time it was during COVID times, and that is why I have to do the testing before I can go in and do the surgery. And that is why the next day they had to do surgery on my wrist. So that is why they have to tie up my bones together so that it can grow back together. So you can see that there's a gauze that's been holding my hand, and it's really painful because I couldn't touch anything. And when I wrap this gauze, when I come back, and without a few days, I immediately ate large amounts of CalMax. I ate 10 tablets of CalMax per day, and also ate 6 capsules of Celljoy. And so within 6 months, I was able to hold my grandchildren now, and I can do a lot of movements now. So now I can almost immediately move my wrist. So after I took out my gauze and also took out the metal, so they have to take it out. So when they put this metal, they didn't put any anesthetic vaccine. So he will have to move, he will pluck it out. And so there's no anesthetic medicine, so it was super painful. However, I want to say that Celljoy and CalMax really helped me in a really big help. Gave me a really big help. So because in ELKEN, I've been consuming Courage to CalMax, and also from Celljoy to Celljoy Go. So furthermore, my mom, when my mom was 70 years old, it was 10 years ago. So because it was raining and then the ground was really slippery, and so she accidentally slipped down onto the pavement. And then so when she fell down, she was quite clever. And then so she still had to hold her hand. She was able to hold it because her whole wrist was, the bone in the wrist was broken, and then the bone really came out, and there was a hole, and then it was bleeding. So she was holding it like this. And so the doctor said that because there was a wound, that's why they have to do a surgery within 24 hours. And then so the doctors asked my mom, is it because I have osteoporosis, because her bone is too fragile and it'll break easily. And he said, no, your mom's bone density is actually really good. And it was really, 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 really thick. So the density is really, really good. And so usually when people fall at your age, you will fall, you'll break your shoulders, the bone on your shoulders and your wrist and also your hips. However, for your mom, it was only for her wrist. And so the doctor said that it's okay, your mom will not have this osteoporosis problem because it is really good. So then when I fell again, because we went to the same musculoskeletal doctor, so the doctor said that, is it because my bone density is too weak and that is why my bone broke? And the doctor said, no, it's because your bone density is actually really, really good and your density is really strong. But then because the power of when you fell to the ground, it was too harsh, it was too strong, that was why it broke. And actually, because I'm so happy because our whole family has been consuming calcium and also cell joy. So the bone density is really strong and robust. So that time I fell when I was 50 something. And so when people fall when they're 50 something, they have to be really careful because there's probably something because their bone might be weaker than others. But then for me, I was able to fall 3 times and I still recover and I'm still so active now. And actually because ELKEN's CalMax is ionized calcium, and that is why the benefit from this CalMax is 94%. However, from normal companies, the benefits is just 40% and that is why if you consume ELKEN's CalMax, if you use $10 to get it, then if you consume ELKEN's products, then you're able to get back $9. However, if you consume other brands, you can only get back $4 and then the $6 will be gone. And actually because calcium, it doesn't just go down in the body, and because it's ionized calcium, that is why it doesn't retain into our kidney. And so it doesn't become kidney stones and it will just flow away from our body. So we're so happy. We're so good to have this amazing product where it doesn't, where when we eat excessive amounts of CalMax, it doesn't create kidney stones. So we're so happy. And so it really helped. And actually, a lot of people would say, oh, I've consumed CalMax, but there's no difference. But I've been consuming it for 25 years. And now that I'm 50 years old and I've been falling for so many times, but my bone density is still so good and it's still so strong. And let me tell you a secret. So actually I have been I've been wearing high heels all of the time. And when I went to the Great Wall of China, I was still wearing 5 inches of high heels and I was still able to climb and walk the Great Wall of China. So actually my bones is really, really amazing because I've consumed enough calcium. So this is just too amazing. So if you think that you are getting closer to a mature and ripe age, so you want to have a better active life and physique, so you should consume Celljoy and CalMax. It is because you're able to increase your strength. And actually recently I've been using a bicycle. I bought a bicycle again. So this other day, my son and also my neighbor, actually, do you know how long I have been going on? I've been going on for 32 kilometers. So they're all scared that, wow, what will happen tomorrow? What will happen tomorrow? Because there might be a backache or something the next day because I've exerted too much power. So I was so happy that I have no pain. I have no after effects. I rode 32 km, but then I still didn't have any after effects. So that is why we should all consume spirulina and calcium, because it can really, really help everyone. It is such a great combination. So I hope that everyone will know and will see. So this is the end of my sharing. Thank you, everyone.